Welcome back, everybody. Where we left off last time, the Tyrells had snuck a huge sneaky army over into the east here and taken up residence at Ashford. Be interesting to see whether they are going to try and make war against either the third place Dothraki, maybe they're here to try and mop up Stannis Baratheon, or whether they are going to make war against some of these city-states. Either way, it's going to be interesting. In the north, Winterfell is under siege, but because of its huge combat rating, it has survived so far. Things aren't going so well for the Eyrie, though. For Peter Baelish, he's still under siege by the Lannisters, who are now roaming freely around his lands. He's brought up the army from the Paps there, which I always thought was a bit strange that he decided to station them there in the first place. But he's brought them up now. I'm going to make a move for the Eyrie and Iron Oaks. Be interesting to see what Dawn is going to do with this fleet in the south here. And a lot of the major powers looking a little bit split up at the moment. Tywin Lannister has Rainhouse, Baneford and Tyrosh down here. The Tyrells have this little Old Oak in the north. Obviously Ashford and Red Lake in the east. And it looks like the Tyrells aren't really doing anything with that force yet, just kind of leaving it there. Maybe just as a show of strength to the Dothraki, just to say, look, don't mess with us. We've got a big army. Here it is here. And wow, look at that. Rook's Rest. That has gone back to... It's gone back to Peter Baelish there. Looks like he was able to sneak that one away from the Lannisters. Very interesting. And he was able to do that. I don't know how long it's going to last, though. Doesn't really have any forces in the area, and Tyrell's positioned nicely here with quite a force. But look at this army here marching on the Eyrie. The Eyrie has a huge defensive rating right now. Must have just built some barricades or some city walls, because that's just shot up to 48 defense now. It's going to be very difficult to take unless he just throws wave after wave of his own men to their death until the Eyrie falls. He doesn't really have enough catapults or ranged units in range there. In the north, Winterfell still holding strong. Looks like the Ironborn have gotten a little bit bored or a little bit scared, and they've now fallen back. And there we go, Rook's Rest already taking a battering. In the east, more forces. Just getting themselves in formation around Ashford there. It looks like they're not at war with Norvos or Qohor here. So it looks like they're either going to make war against the Dothraki or Stannis Baratheon. It looks like Dawn not really doing anything with its fleet. It is building up forces. There's more there than there was before. But to be honest, if I were them, while the Tyrells are distracted in the east, I'd be forming up a force on the border here, and maybe going in, trying to take Lemonwood back. Maybe even take Haystack Hall away from the Tyrells. Maybe chip away at them a little bit, although Dawn is quite low down on the scoreboard here. And here we go, Rook's Rest falls back to the Lannisters. Looks like at the moment their forces just breaking against the wall that is the Eyrie. Eyrie doing big work to take these guys out. Hasn't taken any damage whatsoever. Looks like its defensive strength is just enough to hold back the invaders at the moment. It'll be interesting to see if anybody can take away the capitals. Oh, that is a big wall. The Dothraki have made peace with Peter Baelish, but they've declared... Mance Rayder has declared war on the Dothraki now. He's done with the north. He's sacked the wall, gotten through, taken the gift. Now he's got his eyes firmly set on the east. It's going to be interesting watching his army sail across the northern sea there. But Mance Rayder declares war on the Dothraki. I did not see that one coming. Mance Rayder's been playing pretty quietly up until this point, not really wanting to rustle too many jimmies. And look at this force coming in for the Ironborn. They really, really want Winterfell. And there we go. That's the war that we expected to see. That is the one. Olenna has declared war on Khal Drogo. The Tyrells And the Horse Lords now at war. It's going to be interesting to see what this army does. Which direction it's going to head first. To be honest, best thing for the Tyrells to do would probably be to quickly take Daenerys's old cities. Sending out one rider right now. Looks like they've declared war and then just kind of sat in a defensive position. Over on Westeros, the Eyrie still not taking any damage. This is interesting. Tywin Lannister not got enough catapults in the area. Iron Oaks is coming under siege soon, but not at the moment. And here we go. The clash for Winterfell is lining up. Although, with them not taking it the first time around, this has given the Starks enough time to build up a little bit of a force. They've got a couple of archer units in here. And they've got some longswordsmen as well. And here we go. The Eyrie still not taking any damage. Iron Oak's also escaping so far. Looks like Tywin's left Rook's Rest undefended. And the boats have come back in. So Tywin having a little bit of a derp out here. Not being able to finish this war. Volantis has fallen to the Dothraki now. Tyrell's not really sure how to proceed in this war. Mance Rayder has put to the sea his army. To be honest, it's not a very big army. It's not really going to be able to do much to the Dothraki. Although he is close in score. Only about 150 points behind Khal Drogo now. There we go. The Tyrells start to march north towards Vez Diaf. Over in the east, the Eyrie still not taking any damage. There are no ranged units here for Tywin Lannister, and I think he just doesn't want to attack with the units that he's got. He's got one unit of crossbowmen, and that is it. No catapults, nothing. So I think he's going to have to abandon this war against the Eyrie. I don't think he's going to be smart enough to be able to take it. Same for Winterfell. Although the Ironborn do have considerably more crossbowmen than Tywin has in the south here. And to be honest, if Tywin wastes his whole army trying to take the Eyrie here, the Tyrells could take advantage of that. Although the Tyrells look like they may waste their entire army up against the Dothraki horde here. And that's going to allow someone... Well, I was going to say that's going to allow someone like Mance Rayder to take the fort. But he's sending an army over to the Dothraki as well. The top four guys all could be in trouble right now, which could leave space for Baelon, Greyjoy, or the Martells in the south to come up with a masterstroke. And you can see Dawn already assembling a force on the border with Haystack Hall here. But the majority of their forces are stuck in the sea at the moment. Well, not stuck, but they're in the sea. We don't really know why at the moment. And with the amount of forces that are here, I don't think Tywin's going to be able to maneuver any crossbowmen in. You can see the Eyrie still not taking any damage. I think once you get up near that 50 defense, you need a lot of catapults and a lot of crossbowmen to be able to make an impact. I am surprised that they were able to hold on to Iron Oaks for so long, and it's producing troops now at an alarming rate. And Tywin could really be in trouble. He's only ahead by 10 points, and there you go. The Tyrells have taken the number one spot. Their forces have clashed in the north with the Dothraki around north of Qohor. But look at this Dothraki horde that's been summoned now. I don't think the Tyrells are going to know what's hit them when the Dothraki come riding in. If we have a look at the combat strength of the Blood Rider, that's 22. The Landed Knights are 20. So they're slightly outclassed and definitely outnumbered. This one could be a huge failure for the Tyrells. But because of the long journey, this could end up being great for Mance Rayder. As the Dothraki army is engaged in the south with the Tyrells, he can land in the north and take himself a couple of cities. Although it looks like they do have troops to spare, as Mance Raider's forces come under fire as they approach. Erie still doing fine. Tywin just sending more troops to the meat grinder. Oh, wow. Mance Raider has had enough of Robb Stark now. He is moving in with a force. He's here with battering rams, war mammoths, and giants. And he's had enough. And he's saying, this is it. This is our time. We have come to take Winterfell, and there is going to be nothing that you can do about it. And here we go. There are some catapults moving up now for Tywin Lannister, but it's not enough. It's only one. He's got another one down at the Crossroads Inn. If he can move that in as well, plus a couple of crossbowmen, he could have a chance to take the Eyrie. Or he could just take the Ironworks, circle around, take Coldwater Burn, and then just kind of cut the Eyrie off. Again, it'll be the Winterfell situation, that although he's got a very powerful city there, there's going to be no way he could win the game from that position. And look at this. The Ironborn are getting the hell out of there. They see the Wildling army coming down. I don't think they really want any part of this. They've gone in and they've sacked the lands, pillaged the lands around Winterfell. But they're not able to do anything to even touch the city, to even scratch it. Over in the east, Tyrells were clashing with the Dothraki. But this is why nobody declares war on the Dothraki, because look at the size of this horde. When he summons the horde, one horseman from every city, he has a lot of cities. So Ashford is going to go... It's going to get wiped off the map any moment now. I think Mance Raider may have turned his forces around. I haven't seen them make any ground yet, because his fleet is under bombardment in the bay there. Yeah, it looks like he's sending some forces home and continuing some on. And this was a huge mistake by the Tyrells here. About to lose Ashford. Over in the west, the Eyrie still under siege. Tywin Lannister not giving up. But like I said, he's got nowhere near enough ranged units. He's got a fortified crossbowman there. Crossbowman in the north and a crossbowman in the west. But he needs catapults for the defense of this city. And here we go, Mance Raider trying to encircle Winterfell. And there we go. Mance Raider is the one to do it. He puts his battering rams to work and batters off a quarter of the health of Winterfell. It's going to be interesting who can sneak this one away. To be honest, I think if the Wildlings do most of the work, and then the Ironborn sneak in and take Winterfell, I can see Mance Raider immediately declaring war on the Greyjoys. Oh, and what is this? Stannis Baratheon has declared war on Peter Baelish. Stannis getting big for his boots here. He's got a huge fleet, though. That could actually do some work to Gulltown. And there we go. Gulltown snuck away from Peter Baelish. Let's see what happens to Ashford here. There's been a lot more swings in this match than I thought so far. There we go. Ashford has fallen. That is now Dothraki territory. Looks like Mance Raider's given up on the war against the Dothraki. He's still pretty close, score-wise, but army-wise, they're just on different continents at the moment. Now, this is going to be risky for the Tyrells, because if the forces at New Gis decide to take Red Lake, they're going to be within striking distance of Cider Hall, and then from there they could just run amok through the Tyrell territory. And that is a huge fleet building up in the Lannisters, on the Lannisters' coast there. I think that may be a defensive fleet in order to stop anybody moving through. Be interesting to see if they decide to do something with it. They would be able to do some real work. I'm not sure what this Dornish army is doing. It's just sat in the sea right now, not really doing anything. You can see the Tyrells reinforcing Cider Hall now. Like I said, they've lost Ashford. It's going to be interesting to see whether the Dothraki... Nope, they've moved on to Norvos. Must have already been at war with those. It's kind of spurred them into action. They've kind of woken the sleeping giant that is the Dothraki. If we have a look up north, Winterfell's down to about half health here. The Ironborn moving in. Are attacking Deepwood Moat as well. And it will be interesting to see who's able to sneak away Winterfell. And I think Norvos is going to fall any moment now. Here we go, Winterfell on its last legs. Although there are more Ironborn forces around it than there are forces from Mance Rayder. It's going to be interesting to see who gets this one. Iron Islands, can they do it? I don't think so. It's maybe down... Ooh. They're doing a good job there. The North just holding on. Tywin Lannister has completed River Run. Just holding on for now. But here we go. Here's Mance Rayder. Last one to act. Can he take Winterfell? Not this turn. He's done some good work though. Got it down very, very low. Deepwood Moat also being attacked, but only from the sea right now. Looks like they've decided to peel some forces away, which could be a mistake. Because they could have snuck Winterfell. In fact, they might get it next turn. And like I said, if they do, it's going to make some real tensions between the Ironborn and Mance Rayder. Because to be fair, Mance Rayder's done 75% of the work on Winterfell. The Eyrie, though, this is the surprise. The Erie's still holding out. There are a lot more crossbowmen in the area now, and Iron Oaks is really going down without a fight here. Although Stannis Baratheon is poised, Tywin Lannister doesn't have... I was just about to say, Tywin Lannister doesn't have a melee unit in range to be able to take Iron Oaks, and although he does most of the work, Stannis Baratheon sneaks in and takes that one away. He's now suddenly not in last place. There we go, Winterfell has fallen, and it's fallen to the Ironborn. They've managed to sneak it away from the Free Folk, who, let's be fair, were the ones who did most of the work on that. It's going to be interesting to see how long it is before Mance Rayder declares war. And here we go. Peter's made peace with Tywin. They've peaced out. Has he taken a town? He did. He was given White Harbour, which gives Tywin more scattered cities. Well, that just leaves Peter Baelish with Coldwater Burn and the Eyrie. And we've seen how difficult it is for the Eyrie to be taken. Tywin's still in first place. Mance Rayder now turning his attention to Deepwood Moat. He should be able to get that one before the Ironborn do. And what is this? Volantis has declared war on Khal Drogo. Not that it really matters. Where is Volantis? Down in the south here. Oh, and there we go. The Tyrells have put their fleet to use, though. They're attacking some of these coastal cities. The Dornish still got a big army in the sea. I'm not sure what they're doing with it. They've got a force built up on the border of Haystack Hall. But I think the way the AI decides whether to declare war or not is they just purely look at the numbers and purely look at the amount of forces that they have. And then makes a decision based on that, not based on where geographically those forces are. So let's see if Robb Stark gets wiped out, because he's declared war on Peter Baelish. Which may be a strange thing for a doomed house to do. We will see. Can Mance Rayder do it? He's got the battering rams. He can't quite take out Deepwood Moat, but that's almost certainly going to go down next video. And I'm going to have to leave you on that not such a cliffhanger. because you know that that's going to go. It's just going to be interesting who it falls to. I think it may fall to the Ironborn again, rather than Mance Raider. Well, leave your comments in the comment section below. Let me know who you think is going to be responsible for wiping out the Starks, whether it's going to be the Greyjoys or whether it's going to be Mance Raider. So thanks very much for watching, everybody, and I will catch you in the next video.